There's no surprise that Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets differs from the book, but which characters and spellbinding moments were completely changed? Enemies of the air beware as we re-enter the Chamber of Secrets. The movie made some big changes to the book's more memorable passages, or just flat out left some of them out. Let's start at the beginning. The Chamber of Secrets movie doesn't open on a happy note, but a page-for-page adaptation would have been even more miserable. The film cuts straight to Harry in his room looking at pictures of his dead parents, which is one of his favorite hobbies. Elsewhere, the Dursleys get ready for their dinner party. These moments do occur in the book, but the movie omits Harry's terrible birthday that took place beforehand. The novel makes sure to hammer home just how unloved, lonely, and neglected he is. At least the movie gives him a friend from the get-go. I'm talking about Dobby, of course. The movie version of the house elf is quite different from his counterpart on the page. Granted, the annoying critter is a pest to Harry in both.
Not to be rude or anything, but this isn't a great time for me to have a house elf in my bedroom.
But movie Dobby is more hyperactive than his original portrayal.
Give me the lamp!
Dobby, stop!
In the book, Dobby sits quietly on Harry's bed and waits for him. In the film, the creature's all about causing a ruckus and acting like he's all hopped up on butterbeer.
Harry Potter. Such an honor it is.
Dobby still goofs around with baked goods in the movie, though. The original novel saw him make a pudding float through the air and explode all over Aunt Petunia's kitchen. The Chamber of Secrets movie is all about upping the ante in terms of action, drama, and excitement, however, which explains why this Dobby had a different target in mind.
What pudding?
Talk about a sticky situation. But at least Dobby got some focus at the end of the day. Do you remember Penelope Clearwater? If you haven't read the Harry Potter books, then you probably don't, as her role in this movie was seriously diminished. Considering that she's one of the basilisk's petrified victims in the book, you'd think that she'd get a big dramatic moment in the movie. Think again. Instead, she's relegated to appearing as a background player who doesn't have any run-ins with danger. But hey, at least she didn't fall prey to a scary snake, right? One character who does receive some major focus is Professor Gilda Lockhart. The movie doesn't change his cowardly and pompous personality traits, but he is given a fashionable makeover. The literary Lockhart wears a fancy heart that indicates how he's a man of wealth and prestige. His celebrity status is also enforced in the flick. However, the filmmakers just couldn't resist showing off Kenneth Branagh's luscious locks in the film, so they scrapped the headgear completely.
Good go.
Hermione still has the hots for Lockhart in the movie, but some changes are made to her character. Remember that scene in which Draco calls her that awful word?
No one asked your opinion, you filthy little mudblood.
As you saw from Hermione's reaction, she knew this slur all too well. In the book, however, Ron had to explain what it means, as Hermione hadn't yet been exposed to the bigoted attitudes of pureblood wizards of the Slytherin variety. That said, the movies always present Hermione as the smartest person in the room, so you can understand why they didn't have Ron mansplain things to her. He's an idiot sometimes, after all.
Eat slugs!
But at least Harry can always count on Ron to save the day when he needs him. Harry's escape in the book was arguably more exciting than this one. Originally, Harry had to retrieve his belongings from his cupboard under the stairs while Fred and George Weasley picked the locks. He almost forgot Hedwig as well. This adds more suspense as we worry Uncle Vernon will catch him. Maybe it was good for our heart conditions to see him fly away without having to jump through hurdles in the film, but some of the book's drama could have raised the bar. Then again, the movie does make up for the easy getaway with the stressful, death-defying trip to Hogwarts. Harry and Ron's journey drive isn't as dramatic in the book, but there's no denying that this creative change certainly rattled our nerves. That all changes when they arrive at Hogwarts and that old snitch Filch is there to greet them.
Well, take a good look, lads. This night might well be the last you spend in this castle.
If you read the book, you'll remember that it was actually Snape who caught Harry and Ron in the novel. This is a small change for sure, but it does a great job of reaffirming just how much of an a-hole Filch is there to greet them. Maybe that's because he's bitter about being a squib, which isn't brought to the audience's attention in the movie, despite being mentioned in the book. Fortunately, Harry and Ron got to stay in the wizarding school, but it's a shame that they didn't get to experience the eventful Death Day party. In the book, Nearly Headless Nick celebrates the 500th anniversary of his demise with a ghostly orchestra, delicious food, and a game of head hockey. Talk about a missed opportunity. That ain't the only quirky addition from the wizarding world that's left out of the movie either. It's a gosh darn travesty that we didn't get to see Mrs. Weasley make her son de-gnome the garden on the screen. It's a tiny part of the book in the grand scheme of things, but it illustrates just how magical this world is. Plus, wouldn't it have been hilarious to see the Weasley lads get into a tussle with some mischievous garden gnomes? At least the movie makes up for it by showcasing some exciting Quidditch sequences. That said, Hogwarts' favorite pastime is presented in a more competitive light here, and in a different setting. For a start, the match takes place on a bright day as opposed to a rainy one. Perhaps that had something to do with the weather conditions the filmmakers had to work with at the time. More so, Draco's given more to do. The book depicts him as a pretty terrible seeker who can't keep his eye on the prize. But movie Malfoy gives Gryffindor's star player a run for his money.
You'll never catch me, Potter!
Lucius Malfoy can be spotted at the Quidditch match in the movie, but the book doesn't mention him being in the crowd at all. That said, we can only assume that he showed up to support his boy like the proud father he was, especially after forking out his hard-earned coins to buy state-of-the-art broomsticks for the Slytherin squad.
My father can afford the best.
The filmmakers weren't just cool with altering some sequences from the book, they also came up with some new ones that weren't in at all for that extra ooh la la. Brace yourselves, folks, this one's dark. In the scene where Harry gets sucked into Tom Riddle's diary, you can see some wizards carrying Myrtle's dead body away. This is a shocking inclusion when you remember that Myrtle was 14 when she died. So that's the corpse of a teenager that was being carried away in the Chamber of Secrets. But if there's one thing the Harry Potter books and movies always have in common, it's their honest portrayal of death. It can happen to any of us at any time, and Myrtle's cold, dead hand is a reminder of that. If you liked this video, check out these hidden details that you probably missed in the Harry Potter movies.